We should ask her. Or is that just for non-Muslims? I don't know. Now, if I look at this, and just what I just told you, I'd say now might be a good time to put the brakes on, slow down, take a closer look. I mean, who doesn't think that maybe we should look into it a little bit more? Yeah, let's continue with the chalkboard, shall we? Who else is here? Oh, here's Bill Ayers and his lovely radicalized wife, Bernadine Dorr. Now, how do they fit in? Oh, that's right. They also helped free Gaza. Yeah, they helped organize the flotilla. And Ayers is tight with Obama. The president has a lot of friends in the flotilla world, including this guy, Rashid Khalidi. Oh, good friends there. Yeah, good friends here. Oh, and by the way, Rashid Khalidi, he's on this board because he's promised another flotilla offensive. Yeah, wait until I tell you what the name of that one is. All right, so then we have the Attorney General and we have Hillary Clinton. I tell you what, let's look at this on this board, shall we? Let's take the Imam Faisal. And he is a contributor to Perdana. Perdana is the Free Gaza people who did the 6-ship flotilla, which is nice. That's Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn. They also helped here. And the 6-ship flotilla is, of course, related to Hamas. You know, those people. Those people. Now, so you have, that's a pretty good circle here. And that, what do you think? We should look into something like this, but we can't because Barack Obama, who's friends with Rashid Khalidi, who is going to do yet another 6-ship flotilla like this one, he's going to do this one in September, and he's calling it the Audacity of Hope, which is weird because that's Barack Obama's book. Check it on Amazon. Let's find out how much it's where it is now because it's going to shoot up. Last night was Dreams from My Father. Tonight, Audacity of Hope. Audacity of Hope, which was Jeremiah Wright's speech. That is weird. A flotilla with a tip of the hat to Obama, which is actually a tip of the hat to Jeremiah Wright, who says all kinds of crazy things about Jews and everything else. Okay, so anyway, we can't really do anything because Eric Holder from the FBI is standing in the way. Eric says we're not even at war with terror, okay? Now, where does Hillary Clinton come in? Where does this happen? Have him. Hillary Clinton's up here because the State Department has decided that they're going to give him money. Yeah, they have now confirmed that the State Department is going to give him money. They're gonna finance him. Soon, Faisal Abdul Rauf is going to be going on a trip to the Middle East. Oh, it's exotic there. And you are going to be picking up the tab. Now, why? Why? Anybody have an answer? I know why he's trekking overseas. Why is he trekking overseas? Because we got to go back to this one. The Cordoba Center. Remember, it's $100 million, and they have no idea where they're going to get the money. Oh, probably going to run into a few hiccups fundraising here in New York. So why not send him overseas? And of course, he won't look into any of this because he says not to, but he listened to this guy, and this guy's naming a ship to go get those Jews. Oh, that's great. No, there's no problem. No problem at all. If this guy could just convince this guy or her to save cost, get the sympathetic administration to pick up the tab, this guy may be able to get the $100 million to build this center here. Isn't that great? Of course, now the State Department says, no. Here's P.J. Crowley, who, by the way, another connection, used to work for the Center for American Progress. You know, the group started by George Soros. Here he is, clearly thrilled about getting the task of explaining all of this. Watch.
He is a distinguished Muslim cleric. We do have a program whereby we through our Educational and Cultural Affairs
Yes.
Bureau here at the State Department. We send people from Muslim communities here in this country, around the world to help people overseas understand.
Did you know we did that, Oscar?
Our society and the role of religion.
Did you know that,
within
Chad?
our society?
No, I didn't know that. Did you know we were doing that? That's it. And he's a moderate Muslim. That's weird, because you wouldn't know it by reading Time Magazine. Here's the other thing on the board. Time Magazine, here I am, okay? I'm a madman. Madman, is Glenn Beck bad for America? Time Magazine article on me. Here's the Time Magazine article on the new imam. The moderate imam behind the Ground Zero Mosque. Madman, good guy. Madman, good guy. Now, what did this moderate say just a few days after 9/11? Well, of course, what all moderates would say. Quote, I wouldn't say that the United States deserved what happened, but United States policies were an accessory to the crime that did happen. Oh. Now let me ask you this. Would a moderate imam, a peaceful Muslim, employ another imam who told an Arabic language website that, quote, only the Jews could have perpetrated the 9/11 attack? Well, that kind of sounds like Jeremiah Wright, doesn't it? And that if Americans only knew that it was the Jews' fault, they, quote, would have done to Jews what Hitler did, end quote. And that Jews, quote, disseminate corruption in the land and spread heresy, homosexuality, alcoholism, and drugs. Oh, well, that's the kind of moderate imam I've been looking for right there at Ground Zero. How about you? Would I'd have to ask Time Magazine, the Muslim leader right-wing commentators fantasize about, would that guy refuse to denounce Hamas as a terrorist organization? No? Well, he did. In fact, he did all of those things. And the Hamas thing really makes sense. You see, Hamas, remember back here? Where's Hamas? He gave money here. There's Hamas. See, it's in the food chain. Okay, so not denouncing Hamas. Former radical David Horowitz says that's the fastest way to find out who you're dealing with. Watch.
Will you condemn Hamas here and now?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you condemn Hamas?
Would I condemn Hamas?
As a terrorist genocidal organization?
Are you asking me to put myself on a cross?
No.
So you won't?
Yeah. No. And she went on and talked about how the Jews are really responsible. It was great. Now, here's what a real moderate Muslim sounds like. This is from Bill O'Reilly's program last night. Watch this.
How does building a mosque in the very place where Muslims murdered so many other Americans would create any kind of respect? What I'm hearing from people, especially those who are victims and who are family of the victims, is that this is very hurtful and it's very painful. And as a Muslim, I read in my holy book, the Quran, that we should be very sensitive towards people of other faiths, especially when we are living in lands that are not Muslim lands, and these are our neighbors and our colleagues and the people we care about. We don't show our caring for them by being intolerant. Building a mosque or a place of worship in the particular spot across the street from Ground Zero is a slap in the face of all Americans. I can't begin to imagine how they would even conceive an idea that building a mosque there, which is an exclusive place of prayer for Muslims, would in any way build tolerance and respect.
Yeah. If she wants to build a mosque at Ground Zero, I'm in. In fact, I have my wallet on me and a credit card. I'll go ahead and make a donation. You see, there are moderate Muslims. She's obviously one of them. She realizes building a mosque next to Ground Zero, having Rauf headed up, yeah, there he is. Bad idea for Muslims. This doesn't help any way, shape, or form. Common sense tells you this doesn't work. And if anyone in this country was still applying common sense, well, you'd know that. And I'll show you how they'd proceed with the Ground Zero Mosque next. What do you say we just try a little common sense? Just from time to time, when we're talking about the Ground Zero Mosque, let's try it on. Put the thinking cap on. A little later, I'm going to share an idea one of my Fox colleagues has. I'm not sure if he's serious or not. Stick around. You don't want to miss that. But first,